We are in round 5, currently 4-0, chasing that precious, precious trophy. See how we do. Boros Monarch, buckle up. Opponents waiting to see if they want to go first or not. I am sure that they will. Yeah. Yeah, this is a fine hand. We have a turn 1 Inspector, then bounce Ancient Den. Alternatively, could go turn 1 Windscarred Crag, turn 2 Ancient Den Vial. So let's see what our opponent's at, what we're up against. If it's a slower deck, we can afford to go for the Vial. If it's a faster deck, we'll probably want to play the Inspector. Ponder could be a couple of decks. It makes me think it's Mono Blue Delver because this isn't a snow-covered island. In that case, I kind of want to play the Inspectors to play around Fairy Miscreant, and then that way, if that gets dazed, it's okay, and I can maybe try and resolve a Vial later down the line. So Mono Blue Delver would be an interesting match here. I haven't seen that deck, especially. I assume that this other deck is also 4-0. It hasn't been doing so well lately because UR Delver is such a good matchup against it, and of course Stompy does as well. So I mean, of course, that might not be the deck. We've only seen Island Ponder, but it could be. So let's go Thraben Inspector. No days. Next turn we'll go Boros Garrison, and then we will play. Oh, it is blue-red something. Oh, it's Kiln Fiend, of course. So actually, I do really like Alchemist Vial against Kiln Fiend. That's probably going to be pretty strong here. Great Furnace. I don't think... Unless we draw like a removal spell here. Yeah. Let's go ahead and play the Garrison. Alchemist Vial is instantly very good against Kiln Fiend. Return that to our hand. Next turn, we can play the Vial and have an activation up. I don't see a point in playing the Vial and not having an activation. Our opponent can kill us anyway if they can kill us this turn. I think a turn 3 win is kind of rare, but that doesn't mean it's not doable. I guess they could give it protection from artifacts, which would be unfortunate. And yeah, I'm just not gonna. I can't block here. I have to basically hope to draw what I need to draw. And Prismatic Strands is also good against them as well. So I don't feel totally hosed here. All right, that makes the Vial a little worse. So I guess the question is, do we leave up Prismatic Strands or do we play Vial? Could be a game-winning question to leave up the Strands or to play the Vial. I think I want to play the Vial. And then next turn, I will start considering leaving up the card I want to leave up, the Prismatic Strands, because then I think I can start maybe affording to, or I could play another Alchemist Vial, which would also be pretty good. All right, so preordaining. Oh man, this is scary. I might just lose. Yeah, I think certainly I want to leave up Prismatic Strands now, even if I didn't want to necessarily last turn. Whew. All right, a tap land is a good sign for me. So who do I want to not attack? Let's make it the Cyclops. Randomly the Cyclops. Yeah, I'm fine with taking... I don't think my opponent can win here. So I'll just take it. I'll say, yeah, okay, we're fine. We're fine. See, we're fine. I knew it. So now I certainly want to leave up the Strands, so I'm okay with playing this tap land. You know what? I should have blocked Kiln Fiend the turn I didn't block it. I forgot Kiln Fiend's a 1-2, not a 2-1. So, my mistake. But I feel good leaving up the Strands now. That also makes it so it frees up my mana to then also play the Vial to try and stay alive. And that way have 2 different pieces of interaction with my opponent. Ponder is good for me if they don't have a land. That means they can't counterspell my Prismatic Strand. Well, they can counter it, but then I can just flash back. It's of course better if I get 2 activations, but eh. So I have Pyroblast on the board to bring in against the Cyclops. I think I have an extra Prismatic Strands on the board. I actually don't recall. And of course, okay, well there's Get Probe. That's fine. They can know about my extra vial and my prismatic strands. That doesn't bother me. And I doubt they have flaring pain in the main. This isn't actually lethal, but I think I'm still gonna strands. Let's prevent damage from red. Of course, if they have a bolt and can get rid of Thraben Inspector, that'd be unfortunate, but another Kiln Fiend, eh? I really would like to draw some removal. That's not just this card, Alchemist File. Alright, well, Alchemist File it is. Should I think I could have cycled Forgotten Cave in a turn, I didn't. Glinthawk, not terrible. Going to probably pick up... Wow. I don't want to pick up the Vial, right? So I'll probably just pick up this Ancient Den. Feeling pretty good here. I mean, my opponent has to keep, playing this preponderance of instants and sorceries every turn in order to attack me efficiently. So, I mean, it's not the... Alright, well, I mean, if they keep drawing Ponders, that's insane. There's really nothing I can do about that. So now the question becomes, do I want to strands? I guess I do because they don't have counter magic up. Strands and not use the vial at all. In which case, maybe I should have played Out of Prism. I actually don't know if I'm probably not playing this game as well as I could be. But yeah, they've drawn 3 Ponders this game. That's pretty strong. And there's another island. Do I want it? I mean, if they attack me with everything and they have another spell, I think I'm just dead anyway, so I don't think it matters to pop the vial here. What is this? I don't care about this. This is fine. I'll take 4. I mean, I don't have to play the strands now. Probably gonna cycle both caves instead of the clue token, so I can draw 2 cards. Yeah, this is an interesting attack because it doesn't force me to use the strands. I mean, I can use the strands later if my opponent tries to kill me, or I can just take 4 damage here. It honestly doesn't really matter. Okay, they gush. So I'll take 7 damage here. Fine. Yeah, this was an interesting attack. I think I would have attacked with everything and forced me to use my card. So let's cycle. Ooh, bolt, very good. Tempted to just go ahead and bolt one of these guys so that my opponent can't save it. I don't think this deck plays Daze. Even if they do, I mean, better for them to use it now. Ooh, they do play Mutagenic Growth, so I'm actually pretty happy that I did that still. Because Mutagenic Growth, I'm taking away cards they can actually play on their turn. Yeah, let's play Prism. Skyfisher. I can play Skyfisher. What I'll do is I'll play like Ancient Den. Then I'll be able to bounce Prism back to my hand. Leave up Vial. Oh yeah, leave up Vial, bounce Prism. Well, that would have been a disaster. And then in a turn I can cycle the Forgotten Cave if I want to. But no attacks. I'm in it to win the long game here. My opponent's already used a Gush and was forced to use Mutagenic Growth defensively. I know they have 2 islands in their hand, so 2 islands, 2 unknowns. Hopefully not spells. I mean, if they are, they are. Huh. So if they start going off, do I use Alchemist's File? Another gush? That'd be pretty sick. Yes, sir. 2 gushes. Well, now that they can't counter my prismatic strands, I don't think. Actually, I think they might not have played a land yet, so they probably can. So now I think I do want to use Vial this turn just to hedge my bets. I'm at a pretty low life total. And I can't afford to get blown out by a counter spell. And trading with these 2 Kiln Fiends would be very good for me. So they have, I don't know if they played an extra island actually. So they either have 3 or 4 islands in hand. All right, an extra Kiln Fiend, sure. I guess before combat, I could attempt to flashback the vial. What? Is this for real? All right. Well, I'm definitely using the vial this turn because they used a battle rage. Just because it's good here. Plays around counterspell. If they have pro artifacts here, then I think I'm in fine shape. Yep, they do. So if they have counterspell, I just lose, which would be unfortunate, and maybe why they went for it this turn. This game did not feel unwinnable, though. I think they just had more answers than we did. Interesting. So let's see if they have it or not. I mean, the chances are they have it, right? Like they probably have it. Of course they do. Yep. It's the way the cookie crumbles. We have a lot of good sideboard options, though. We'll bring in our Cop Red. We'll bring in our Pyroblasts. We'll take out our Palace Sentinels. They are far too slow. We'll cut a Battle Screech, and we'll bring in a Lone Missionary, I suppose. Doesn't seem terrible. Yep, just take out our top end, focus on dealing with their stuff, killing their stuff, and protecting ourselves. Yeah, they just had it all that game. That was pretty unfortunate for us. I don't think there was another way to play that game where we won. We tried to kill their creatures where we could. We used the prismatic strands where we could. We used the removal wherever we could, and it just wasn't good enough. Instead of a prism, I might play the other missionary. Interesting matchup, though. I'll be sad if I lose to it, but yeah, Magic variants. Yeah, we'll play first. Absolutely. Pyroblast and Bolt, don't hate it. Let's keep. We'll go turn 1. Great Furnace. This lets us, counter something or kill something. If they have a turn 1 Delver, and I could Pyroblast it. Want to use my Pyroblast where I can this game, simply because they don't kill Kiln Fiends. Glenhawk is interesting. It lets us play that next turn. It lets us play it and... Actually, no, it's better to play, of course, Skyfisher. Bounce Prism, then Boros Garrison a land. Unless they play something I want to kill. In that case, I can go Glint Hawk and the other thing. Yeah, Kiln Fiend, I want to kill Kiln Fiend. So we'll actually bolt it first so that we can try and kill it if they have a mutagenic growth. Or we could draw Galvanic Blast. Mutagenic growth no longer matters. I do kind of want to know if they have it, though, because that's a 2-for-2 in my favor. All right, so that worked out the way I wanted it to. Which one of these is a better? Probably the Great Furnace. I'll return that to my hand. My hand is just far more red. So if they have a Gorilla Shaman or something, I'd rather lose the Ancient Den. Next turn, I can go Skyfisher Prism or Prism something else if my opponent plays threats. Looks like Prism Skyfisher will be the play. We just have removal for days this game. It's sweet. We'll go ahead and swing in with the Glint Hawk before Journey is an excellent draw. So yeah, we're probably favored to win this game at this point, just from the sheer amount of removal I've drawn. My opponent can bolt this if they want. I don't care. They did not, so let's Skyfish back the Prism. And interestingly enough, this opponent also does not know that we are on Monarch, and we've boarded out all of our Monarch stuff game 2. What if my opponent will try and kill my 2 creatures here? Bolt me? All right. I don't think my opponent would do that if they knew the contents of my hand. Also, interesting to bolt me as this deck. They weren't in danger of discarding cards, and I think you want to save those for when the turn you're going off. Like, yeah, I'm just going to, bolt this Kiln Fiend, double bolt it if I have to, journey it, whatever. I think I favor Journey a little bit more here. Uses my mana better. And, the best part is if they have a counterspell, I'll just bolt it. Apostle's Blessing. Giving it pro white, so I have to choose one of my creatures. It's actually pretty good. So no matter what I do, something bad is going to happen to me. So I'll just bolt it. it just doesn't matter. Because now he's going to give it pro red. I'm going to have to... I'll pick up my Glint Hawk here. And then I can pick this back up. This is actually not too big a deal. I have 3 more Skyfishers in the deck that will just pick that right back up, and then I'll be able to get my Glint Hawk back, and then I just have to make sure I have a Prism out so I can bounce it. So that was actually a good reason to attack first there. That probably would have been smart, but I don't know. It only mattered in this one instance, I guess, where they were able to kill or try and protect their own creature. And I should have seen it coming. That was a sloppy play. But we do have 2 of our opponent's threats down. Have yet to see a Delver, so I'm glad we had all this burn. Yeah, get Probe. See, I have oodles and oodles of removal. If they play a Cyclops, I'll Pyroblast it. I have access to another Prism next turn, or to my same Prism, and then some card draw on the Clue if I really want it. Maybe if I don't hit a land drop, but I think leaving up double Galvanic Blast or Galvanic Blast Pyroblast is probably just better than trying to hit a land drop that seems a little greedy. So I'll probably play the Prism, leave up Blast. Do I care about Augur of Bolas? What do they reveal? Dispel? That'll put a wrench in my plans. Oh, so they only get the Dispel? I thought he had to reveal all of them. Okay, no, you don't. So Dispel's good. They can't use it right now, though. I might go ahead and just kill the Augur. Another core Skyfisher, though. So actually, I want to do that. I want to Prism, Fisher the Journey, return the Prism to my hand. And that's just gravy. No, now I don't know if I want to return Prism. No, now I want to return Prism, but I don't tap this Great Furnace like a boss. Now I get in for 2. There is a consideration to bolt this. I just don't think I need to. Like, or to blast that. I don't think I need to. Could be good, though. If I wanted to, I should have done it already, though, so I just won't. I do not care about Augur or Bolus. I would rather save my removal for stuff I want to kill. And now we'll get in for 6. And then if I just Galvanic Blast my opponent, do we win? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, we do, but if my opponent has bolts of their own, so I won't do it. Don't get too greedy. Secluded Step. I want access to 3 red mana, so I will play the Prism using my 2 white. There's a red mana for me to play. Get in for Sace. In a turn, we can crack the clue, cycle the fetch if nothing happens, or rather, we'll just double Galvanic Blast our opponent. That seems good, but no need to do it now. I don't want them to spend mana on my turn, untap, have access to the mana. But yeah, we have double Galvanic Blast in our hand, but they do have a Dispel, but I do have a Pyroblast. You know, I just don't think we need to go for it here, though. There's no reason to just, wantonly trade our resources, so I'm actually not going to do it. So let's crack the clue. Cycle the step. We're also, way far ahead on time. Now we have access to 2 Pyroblasts. That seems good. I guess I could have waited to play the planes. So yeah, there's just no reason to go for it still. All right, sure, bolt that. Now I think we'll go for it at the end of our opponent's turn. Because now we have access to Galvanic Blast, Pyroblast, Pyroblast. There's no reason to slow play them anymore. The reason to do it before is if they have more than one counterspell. That's pretty bad. So I guess this is a fine time to do it, isn't he? They only have 1 more blue mana. All right, and we got there. So going to game 3. That game was pretty good. We had access to the removal we needed. I think we'll just send it back. I think that's how we beat this deck. They do get to be on the play on game 3. I guess they were on game 1 also. Whew. Coming down to it, match 3 of last game of the last match. Should be interesting. I hope you all have enjoyed the videos. I've certainly enjoyed making them. Yeah, when I saw this deck getting played, like I said, by a couple of people, I thought, wow, that's actually a really great evolution of the deck. I'd love to try it out. Monarch is such an interesting mechanic. It's simultaneously very powerful and very dangerous, right? Because if your opponent gains Monarchy, then it's very hard for you to win the game if you can't take it back. So let's talk about this hand. This hand is very slow and has no removal and only has Alchemist's File. My opponent's mulligan to 6. I think it is safe for me to mulligan to 6. This hand is much better if we draw another land, so I'll keep it and I'll scry any land at the top. Gonna have to bottom that. Really need another land. This is actually kind of a risky keep because I actually specifically need a white land. Actually, I don't. I have a Prophetic Prism, so I actually don't specifically need a white land. But still kind of a scary keep. That's one, draw down that we don't get the land. I can bolt a turn 1 play, which is good. Like if they play Kiln Fiend here and hope it's good enough. Augur Bolus I don't care about. I'm not going to bolt that. What are they getting? Gush. If that's the best they can do, I guess that's okay. So really, really, really need to draw a land here. I got lucky because of the Augur. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Galvanic Blast. I have so much land in my deck, and I drew Galvanic Blast. It's okay, though. It's okay. We have, 1 more turn. We're not out of the game yet. Funnily enough, our first hand would have been very good here. Like, if they now go... I'm thinking of cards that I don't want them to play. We have one more turn to draw a land. And then if we don't, I guess we're bolting this Augur. Yeah, if we lose to Mana Screw, I'll be unhappy. That's the way the cookie crumbles, though. The first hand would have been very good against this opener. But of course, there's no way for me to know that, right? Pyroblast? Yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes. I don't really want to use the bolt here, I don't think, but I'm going to. Our opponent has no pressure, so we actually do have time to draw the other land. I just really hope we do. All right, using that there makes me kind of happy, because that means that they're not using it on like a real creature I want to kill. I was just doing that so I, don't have to discard the hand size. Yeah, that first hand would have been great against this opener from our opponent. I got greedy. Yeah, I have no plays. I just hope you don't have Kiln Fiend plus backup. All right, that's fine. Boros Garrison is hallelujah. And also him playing that instead of Kiln Fiend, also extremely good. So yeah, now we're in it. Wow, that was scary. Unless they play have like Mountain Molten Rain, that would be very bad. We'd be even worse off than when we started. Gushing, I feel good about that. Really, the trick now is to not play this Cop Red into a counterspell. But if they play like another Cyclops here, I guess I'm in for playing Alchemist Vial next turn now. Land Alchemist Vial. Probably Vial first. Actually, kind of doing it here. Next turn I can play the Cave. I can cycle the Cave even if I want. Wow, we've really lucked out that our opponent has had no follow-up plays to this Augur of Bolas that we haven't been able to answer. Like drawing the Pyroblast, insanely lucky. Windscarred Crag. Do I want to play that? I think first I want to play this Prophetic Prism just to see what I draw, and then I think I do want to play Crag. Well, now I want to play Thraben Inspector and Boros Garrison, actually. And then now we're doing it. Now I feel like we're in great shape. We just hit the glue to land that we need, and now that we're kind of done, we can start cycling some of them. Bolt me? All right. I really want to resolve this Cop Red. I don't know when I'll be able to. My opponent will have to tap out for a threat at some point, and then I can resolve the Cop Red. Like right at some point, they have to tap out for their threat. Well, now it's not a surprise anymore, so now it kind of doesn't matter. I can just maybe try and jam it next turn. So next turn, I'll play the Windscarred Crag. I'll be able to start thinking about cycling the Forgotten Cave in the Secluded Steppe because I'll be at 5 mana. My opponent's having to just, play Gushes and Gataxian Probes and Bolts without having any threats in play. I will be blocking this Augur if my opponent attacks. There's no reason not to. I don't really care about the Thraben Inspector too much. And then if they use like a spell to buff their guy like Mutagenic Growth, sure, they'll kill my Thraben Inspector. Yeah, that's fine. Like, absolutely do not mind. Glenhawk, fine draw. So we'll attempt to pick back up the Prism. Replay Prism. And let's cycle Forgotten Cave. Because this next turn I'll just block with the Glinthawk. If they have a removal spell, they have a removal spell. But yeah, feeling really good about this game. And I mean, if they play a threat, I can, attempt to journey and then attempt to play Cop Red. So I do have a little bit of wiggle room. And when I see how I sequence this, I just have so much removal. My opponent probably doesn't have enough answers for it. And then, of course, I have a Vial on the table already, which is quasi-removal. Especially, I think I mentioned earlier, like against this deck where they're looking for like a burst of damage to kill you. If you have Alchemist Vial, that's pretty strong. All right, there's a Kiln Fiend. So I think what I'll do first is I'm going to just attempt to journey the Kiln Fiend. I don't... Oh, well, now I want to play Cop Red, but I still want to journey the Kiln Fiend in case they have... the card that... I guess they can give like Pro White or something. That'd be unfortunate. I don't want them to have Flaring Pain is basically the big thing. I mean, if they go for it here, then I think I'll just bolt it or blast it in response. Dispel. All right. I'm in to fight this counter war. It just strips my opponent of so many resources. Oh, well, I should have played that. Wow. Yeah, I wanted to play Cop Red there, and I talked about it, and then I didn't do it. That would have been sweet. Instead, I played Prophetic Prism. Wow. Wow. Feels bad. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do. But it's okay. It looks like I might get a redemption here. This is going to be just a hard cast gush. Yep, redemption round. It's cool. Terramorphic? Oh, yeah. I'm going to resolve this. Yeah, that just winning that fight over that Kiln Fiend was very good for me. So now we'll play Cop Red. We can cycle clues, cycles clue step, play planes. Even draw Galvanic Blast. Yeah, let's pick up a Prism. Just replay Prism. Swing for 2. Wow, I really thought we were not going to win this game, and now it seems pretty unlosable. Our opponent's start was just so slow, and having access, and now we can core Skyfisher back the Journey to our hand, and then just rebuy that. Like, yeah, Apostle's Blessing is not very good against Journey to Nowhere. Yeah, check out my sick hand. I mean, I don't think this hand is beatable. I've said it a couple times now, so I must think it's true. But watch, we'll find a way. Yep, I'm going to close this. It gets pretty small. Skyfisher back the Journey to Nowhere. Oops. Well, there's nothing to return, so that's fine. Replay Vial. Lamp turn. Swing with the team. Now we're just 1 alpha away from victory. Well, 1 alpha plus 1 Galvanic Blast. We'll cycle the clue into turn, see what we draw. There's no need to, try and get cheat with Alchemist Vial on this guy. All right, do your worst. And we did it without Monarchy this match. Didn't have it once. a chat massage. Good game, but if you're watching this, I disagree. I had way too much removal for you. Sweet, we get that sweet 5-0. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see everybody next time.